I have a book of poems that recently came out in January, February of this year. Am I my brother's keeper? These include poems of witness and 26 poems of memories of Brooklyn, Bath Beach, Bensonhurst, 1940s and 50s. So there are 59 poems altogether, 185 pages. It's actually my first full-length book. And I have some copies. You can talk to me later about it. So I'm going to read 3 short poems from the book and then 3 longer poems about Brooklyn. And so I'm going to do an all Brooklyn series myself. And dedicated this to the audience and people who lived or know or remember Brooklyn, which is now a mythic place in our memories. So I'm going to start out with a poem called Before Poetry. Before there were words, before there was poetry, there were sounds. And my brother and I made certain sounds, and this became part of family lore. My mother said, oh, you said this for that, and so on. So this is a poem about sounds before poetry. Let's see how I can do this from the book. Okay. Before poetry. Kakiga. That's what he said. My brother, age 2. Kakiga was chewing gum. Now this was before Lady Gaga, before people went gaga, before go-go dancing. That's what he said. This was before people were cocky, before American Idol, before Celebrity Apprentice, before Jerry Springer, before Dirty Dancing. This was cocky before Howl, before they arrested Lenny Bruce. Wawa. That's what he said. Wawa was water. Then he said, ha. Ha was light. Wawa. Was he thirsty? Wawa was water. This was before the sky. What is water? Are we water? Does water want us? What is light? Water is invisible. Light is invisible. Do fish see water? Do we see light? Ha. This was before Longfellow, before Hiawatha, before Evangeline, before Princess Minnie. Ha ha. Long before this, I said Imami. Imami was ice cream. This was before Haagen-Dazs, before Rocky Road. Imami was what Eve gave Adam before tonsils, before Adam's apple, before the snake. In the beginning, there was Wawa. In the beginning, there was Ha. Now this is a tribute to the old neighborhood, 1940s and 50s. Days of Spalding. And what about Goody, my good friend, squatting like an Indian? I couldn't do it. And what about pastoral era before cars, or just a few? Cars coming, we'd call out. 3 feet off to Germany, I declare war. Brooms for bats, boxboard skates, self-constructed roller scooter, milkman, seltzer man, knife sharpening man. I buy old clothes, the old man calls. Boxball, hit the penny, curveball, marbles on dirt, Aggies in gutter, get mid in the hole in box. And what about playing all day, enjoying sweat, natural air conditioning, walk to bay on hot summer nights, red light, green light, sleighing downhill in empty lots all over the place, horse-drawn wagons, good humor sold from pushcart, hear the bells in early morning. Bernie, dinner's ready, time to come in, Mom calls. Movies on weekend, films, cartoons, shorts, newsreels, the whole gang. Matron watching with flashlight. Pipe down, boys, or out you go. Days of Spalding, ashes, dust, apparitions in the mist. This is about Joel Reingold, who was a 3rd grade classmate of mine. Joel Reingold equals death. PS 101, Bath Beach, Brooklyn. Age 8 I am. Joel Reingold, classmate, friend. Joel, green eyes, blonde hair, just like me. That morning, whispers in the schoolyard, did you hear what happened to Joel? run over by a car, died. Joel was playing on sidewalk, ran across street to greet his dad, coming home from work. Struck by car, white towel wrapped around his head, white towel turned red. From now on, I thought, avoid 4 and 8. Joel, Joel equals 4. Reingold, Reingold equals 8. Joel Reingold equals death. Now I'm going to do 3 other poems that are not in the book. They're too long to have been put in there. This is about a young lady from my childhood. Maybe every one of you remembers someone like Natalie of Bath Beach, Brooklyn, 1953. La Belle Dame, sans merci. Natalie gave herself to every boy but me. Natalie, Natalie, la belle dame, sans merci. I turned the age of 13, 1953, the rage, torrent of blood in my veins, raging my arteries. Natalie, Natalie gave herself to every boy but me. Natalie, la belle dame, sans merci. Gentle waves lapped the rocks of Gravesend Bay, Ali. Gulfs swept up the wind and turned, drifted toward the sea. Natalie gave herself to every boy but me. La belle dame, sans merci. Yes, there was a date etched in memory. The Loews Oriental. I took her hand from here to eternity. I touched her shoulder in the dark, touched her neck. She turned away from me. The waves lapped up the misty shore, drifted toward the sea. She placed her hand, her ivory hand, on someone else's knee. Stalked my dreams, branded my dreams from here to eternity. Deborah Kerr wrapped her thighs, clung to the man, drifted out to sea. Natalie gave herself to every boy but me. La belle dame, sans merci. I walk along the shore now, cuffs roll my ankle, roll up to my knee. Lashed to the mast as sirens call from the misty sea. Helen of Troy, Magdalene, the gray mist of the sea, the dreams of youth, the lies, the truth, drift away from me. Oh, Natalie still gives herself to every boy but me. Now this is a poem about growing up in Bath Beach, Brooklyn. It's a series of questions. It's called Intimations in the Mist. Did an infant cry out for his mother in a hospital on Cropsey Avenue in Brooklyn near Nellie Bly Pier? Did this happen? Does anyone know? Is there anyone to ask? And did his mother comfort him? And did his crying cease? Did he learn to walk in the park on Cropsey Avenue? Did he live on Bay 34th Street where there were empty lots and many boys playing games and chalk and marbles and ice cream? Good humor and laughter and fears, avoiding cracks on the way to Public School 101, and calling to Goody, best friend, outside the kitchen window, long talks till sunset. Does anyone know? Is there anyone to ask? Did Mendy and Goody wave to Lee Eolas on the last day of Hebrew school? And was there a fire in the stables on Stillwell Avenue? And did a ragman cry out, I buy old clothes? Did Dennis Lupo beat up the guy who threatened us, cigarette butt between ear and skull? Did Norman drag a bag of logs along the defunct trolley tracks across the steaming creek, along Stillwell Avenue to Mermaid, to Neptune, to Surf, in the shadow of the parachute and Wonder Wheel, to dump them under the boardwalk where oiled bodies stretched under glinting lines of light? And did the tornado and bobsled and cyclone roar over cascade of bumper cars and sideshow barkers and ponies and batting cages and skee balls? And did we stare at the setting sun beneath the line of horizon? And did a ragman, searching for silver and gold rings on the sand of Coney, searching, sun setting, did he bend and touch a streak of light? And did he hear mermaids call out beyond the pier? Is there anyone here? Does anyone know? Is there anyone to ask? Okay. I'm going to end with a poem called The Boy Struck by Lightning 3 Times. And I got the idea of this title actually from Karen. Entirely different poem, but I asked her permission if I could use something like this title. Now this is an autobiographical poem, but it's told in mythic, metaphorical form. It's called, and the boy struck by lightning is me. So, the boy struck by lightning 3 times. Emerged from his mother's womb, they cut the umbilical cord. Hi, koi, he screamed. Sucking his mother's breast, he gurgled, hey, coo. Hey was perhaps hello. Coo was coo. He aged. At age 3, he said, haiku. At 5, he thought, I will write a haiku. He did not know thought, he did not know write, but he knew this, write a haiku in his skin. The boy struck by lightning first time, August 1945, the year of Hiroshima Mon Amour. But he did not know this. Light pulsed up his spine, the sky sparkled, light rained down. He was holding his mother's hand, the L station, West End Line, Bay Parkway Station, Brooklyn. She receded into the gap between earth and sky. He fell to his knees, the earth shook. He was a speck in the universe. As he crawled to his mother, the first line of verse, the first line of the haiku flashed. Swerve of light, sears, slits. He crawled and crawled. The gap between earth and sky melded or did it. He felt his mother's hand, but all was not well. Do not go up high, high in the parachute of cyclone, you will never come down. Do not float through space, there madness lies. He touched cracks, gaps, chose lucky numbers, 4 and 8 equal death. Too long to explain why. Line up your socks, measure your breath, cover the gaps, do your homework. He was still crawling toward his mother, up on the L, Bay Parkway Station, West End Line. The line, some say it begins in Hellgate, runs from Gravesend Bay to Stillwell Avenue. After that, the mermaids call. The boy struck by lightning second time, September 1952, the year of the Manchurian Candidate. He did not know this. Light pulsed up his spine, the sky sparkled, light rained down. As he remembered it, the black shirts were after him. They wanted to kick him in the groin many times, Auschwitz, Buchenwald. But it was Barry Tatosky who wanted to beat him up to impress the motorcycle black jacket gang, the chain and peg pants crowd, the Bath Beach Boys, guys with butts between ear and skull, Miguel, Dominic, Basile, Bobby Papasino, Frank Buckenfuso. Again, the gaping space between earth and sky. He was crawling, still crawling. Will he touch his mother's hand? The second line of the haiku flashed, dangling line of space and time. Again, fill the caps, do your homework, measure your breath, avoid 4 and 8, line up your socks. No use. The boy struck by lightning third time, October 1962, the year of revelations. But he did not know this. Light pulsed up his spine, the sky sparkled, light rained down. This time he died, but didn't. He was one of the walking dead, of this world, but not of this world. As others saw him, he was sentimental, nostalgic, venerated the past, went back to the old neighborhood, searching for himself. But he was dead, useless to search. He was riding a phantom carriage. He was crawling toward his mother on the boards of the Bay Parkway Station between Gravesend Bay and Stillwell. He saw the verse from beginning to end, all in a moment, the same moment, the moment he was born, the moment he died. Swerve of light, sears, slits, dangling line of space and time, folds back into a dot.
Wow.
So I want to thank you, the audience, for coming to a spoken word poetry event. I want to thank the readers, Richie, Michael, and Karen. Fantastic reading, a fantastic presentation. I want to thank Ptr Kozlowski for videotaping this. This is the 21st edition, and we can post it on YouTube. I want to thank Robin Hirsch for giving us the opportunity to read here, and the wait staff, who are not only the wait staff, but are actually the sound crew, as you saw, and think about them before leaving and tipping them generously. Be deeply appreciated. The next version of this will be sometime next year. Look forward to seeing you, and thank you for coming. Deeply appreciate it.